So we have another guest who is a digital guest.
Yes, who was one of our very first.
Well, it was our first Facebook Live.
Yeah, he was the one that joined us for our first Facebook Live, and we were sharing about Poe's birthday, I think, at the time.
And it was in with a Poe, in with a Price, because it was
because it was Vincent Price and Edgar Allan Poe crossover.
Yes.
So this is Jason Markiewitz. He is going to be sharing his audio work for Annabelle Lee, which was posthumously posted in 1849. Not his video, but published by Poe, because he's not a time traveler, we asked. So Jason Markiewitz is the voice behind numerous USA Today, Amazon, and New York Times bestselling authors' audiobooks, and is the founder and director of Markiewitz Audioworks. He has audio theater company that produces full cast dramatizations of works of classic fiction. He also has, since 2020, since the pandemic, narrated 24 titles on the audiobook. It's like Audie Murphy all of a sudden. Audiobook market across various retailers, including Audible, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Audiobooks.com, Kobo, that's one I haven't heard.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
Spotify, and more. He has earned 2 individual narrator awards, an Audiobook Reviewer Choice Award, a Seneca Award nomination, and a Best Mystery Audiobook Award.
And I think not updated on there. I believe he was nominated for a Saturday Visitor Award.
He was nominated last International Poe Festival as a Poe Visitor Award. He is a 24-year officer in the United States Air Force Reserve, married to his high school sweetheart Diana, and has 3 wonderful children. That's great. You can follow and subscribe to Markiewitz Audiobooks at Facebook, which is just Markiewitz Audioworks. YouTube, Markiewitz Audioworks Presents. You can follow and subscribe to Jason himself through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, which is using his name, Jason Markiewitz.
Yes.
And he will be happy you will be involved with what he loves to do. And we love hearing his renditions. We love following him. And I think Holly, I don't know if she shared it earlier, but I think we did. Yes. Jason did the audio work for her book, Eye of Athena.
No, the Riley House.
Oh, he did Riley? I thought he did Eye of Athena too.
Riley House.
Okay.
Holly can correct us on.
Yeah. So
but Riley, I know Riley House. He just
finished. Okay. So that way we'll know. So if you want to check out Holly's book, Riley House, her novella, and the audio works, when it comes out, that's where you'll find it.
And one other note, that's very cool, is that this production, his wife is in it.
Oh, yes.
So, and it is a lovely video. And are we ready?
Yes. And let's see. In our comments, Intello, someone new. They said, "Hi, just stumbled upon this channel. I'm surprised you haven't heard Kobo Ladies." I'm like, well, we've heard of it. We just haven't checked it out yet.
Yes.
So I was just surprised to find that Kobo is gaining popularity.
Yes.
And then Season says, Jason is a super nice guy and talented, and we agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
And then, Jason is doing Riley House. That's what Holly says. All right. Perfect. All right. Without further ado, here is Jason Markiewitz's rendition of Annabelle Lee for us.
Yes.
And welcome, Intello. We're happy to have you.
Yes.
Markiewitz Audioworks presents Edgar Allan Poe's Annabelle Lee, performed by Jason Markiewitz, with music by Hayden Folker. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden lived there whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabelle Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many, far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
The do snaps,
Yes.
yes! Thanks, Jason, for
Yes.
sharing it. We appreciate it.
That was beautiful. And
Mhm.
Annabel Lee is probably one of the top poems that most people are
Mhm.
familiar with behind the Raven. I would definitely say.
I do recall it was the first one that I ever had to memorize in school,
Okay.
and it was in 6th grade.
Okay.
And it touched me even then, so it was very much a
Yeah.
powerful story even to someone who's, in 10, 11 at the time.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
uh,
It is absolutely just so heartfelt.
yes, and Holly says she loves this version of Annabel Lee.
Mhm.
Irish Poetry by Candlelight, which once more I believe is Wayne.
Yes.
It says mesmeric work from the darkly talented two of Poe. I believe he was talking about us. I thank you, thank you,
Yes.
Wayne, and all those. And then Intello, our new guest that's joining us, is says, "Wow, I'm getting chills listening to that." So we will
Yes.
definitely share out to Jason because we
Mhm.
will be uh, putting these each individuals into little social
Segments.
media
Mhm.
segments that they can share on their websites and other social media. But we are
Absolutely.
happy you're joining us live, and
Mhm.
we hope you continue to hang out with us. And we're enjoying sharing all these wonderful, talented people
I agree.
and promoting our poetry contest, our second annual Poet Like Poe, which will begin April 1st, which is Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
And one other note about Annabel Lee is many people have their own kind of belief of
Mhm.
who was Annabel Lee, who really
Yes.
was the inspiration. And, you know, I have my thoughts, but at the same time, it
Yeah.
changes sometimes. To me, with the line, "I was a child and she was a child."
Yeah.
His first love was Elmira Shelton, Royster Shelton,
Yeah.
and to me, it kind of goes back to that.
Mhm.
Sometime I think about that, but then it's like I don't know. I mean, maybe it was Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because she was a child. He wasn't really a child, but she was kind of a child.
yeah,
So
he was still
he was young.
young.
He was
Yeah, he
young.
wasn't technically child,
Right.
but
Right.
he was young, and so it could fit with so many
It
different people. And
it
I think
could.
it also, once more, as we've talked about in our Poe Unplugged and other places,
Mhm.
Poe leaves a lot of interpretation up to the readers, and
Yeah.
he puts what he puts into his words, but sometimes he doesn't put the actual names of anybody. I mean, very few. Like
Right.
he does Lenore. It should be with Lenore, not Lenore. And so other things, but at the same time, it would fit so many different females in his life
Mhm. Yeah.
that were taken too soon.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I think his meaning behind Annabelle Lee
Yeah.
was just the heartache of losing someone so
Young
young.
and yeah.
Yeah.
And, you can also kind of think about, okay, is it all of these women rolled into one, thinking about different characteristics of each one put
Yes.
together. Even like his mother died very young.
Yeah,
And
he was
so,
literally not even 3 yet when she
hmm
died.
hmm
So he was such tainted by death.
yeah, at
And
too young of
yeah,
an age.
yeah. So I guess that's one of the reasons I share so much with the love of Poe is a lot of parallels happen, and most of us probably can uh, mark some parallels with Poe's life and with his works and with ourselves.
Absolutely.
And Holly says, "I always think of Virginia for Annabelle."
Yeah.
So,
hmm
we're right there with you,
Yeah.
Holly.
Yeah,
And
and that's to say at different times in my, thinking, reading that poem,
mhm.
I think, well, could it be Virginia? Could it be Elmira? I mean, it just,
Yeah, could have been his mother.
yeah,
Could have been
it's kind of
anybody.
neat thinking about that.
Yeah, it just because then it would be like the Oedipus complex. So I'm
Yeah.
not
Well,
going back
and
into Greek mythology.
yeah, we're
There,
not going
trash me.
there. We're not digressing, Jeannie. I'm pulling
Okay,
you back
all
in.
right. I won't digress into
Uh,
history.
but here's the other question.
Hmm.
If he was alive today or he time traveled to our event
Yes,
right this
yes, yes,
moment
yes, yes.
and popped in on comments,
Hmm.
if we asked him, would he tell?
Probably not.
I have the romantic feeling of I don't want to know.
Yeah, and I think that's why he would not tell us.
Kind of like what we talked about on Poe Unplugged the other
Hmm.
night. Mark DeWidziak made the comment, I don't want to know because then it takes away that romantic feeling. And I feel the same way
Hmm.
about Annabelle Lee.
Yep. And then Season says that it could be Elmira. And then Intello, what books or poems of Edgar should I start reading for a beginner like me?
Oh, okay.
So we will definitely give you some idea. There's the works that of Poe's poetry that you
Mm-hmm.
can find at probably Amazon or anything. Just
Mm-hmm.
start with his basic poetry or his short stories.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Mhm.
some novels, some short things you can get has a little mixture of both.
Yeah, and he
So
only wrote one novel, The Narrative
yes,
of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket.
yes, which we will be
So,
discussing in May
on Poe
on Poe
Unplugged.
Unplugged.
Yes.
So if you want to join us then, we will be happy to have you
Yes.
join us, and you can find all about that on our
Mhm.
website. But yes, just to suggest some starters would be the poems of like what Jason presented, Annabelle Lee,
Mhm.
The Raven. You could check out that on different
That'll
platforms of
probably
different
be in
people.
all poetry
Yeah, that'll be
collections.
in all poetry collections. He
Mhm.
has some shorter things. Some of his post stories, the ones that we enjoy the most, is a Tell Heart. If
Mhm.
you haven't heard about that, and if
Mhm.
you want to watch it before reading it, Poe Movies, who is also joining us this
Yes.
season, they have where you can go to their YouTube and check it out. They did
Yes.
a nice little video. It was an Emmy award winning video. So if you want to see it before you read it
Mhm.
yourself, then you can check it out or do vice versa. I always love to read before I watch, so that's just me.
Yeah.
But check those out, and you're very welcome, and we're so happy to have you joining us.
Yes.
And Holly says, "True, I don't want to know." So we agree, Holly,
Yes.
because it's in the mystery.
It is.
It's the mystery of Edgar Allan Poe that we want to keep alive.
For Intello, another place to go if you don't want to purchase a copy
Yes.
is poemuseum.org.
Yes.
Has pretty much his whole collection of poems and
Hmm.
short stories.
And then there's poststories.com,
Mm-hmm.
which you can just get on there and they have access and you can read them and you can even print them out. They have print versions for you if you
Yes.
don't want to
Mm-hmm.
buy them all at once. You just want
And
to check out a few. So there's a couple places you
yeah,
can go.
eapoe.org, which is the Edgar Allan Poe Society of
Yes.
Baltimore, also has a huge collection. And there's also different commentaries and things that people have written, essays
Yes.
about his works as well, to kind of
Yeah.
complement if you want to dig into some of the meanings behind it of people's interpretations.
Right. Right. And so Season also suggested for you in the chat to start with The Raven, A Dream Within a Dream, Morella, and The Cask of Amontillado. Those are great suggestions.
Yes, those are great suggestions.
So take all that and go and check them out, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
And stay with us throughout the day, because we've got so many more to be read. And
so you will be able to hear and see some more throughout the day.
Yes, and speaking of which, we have our next guest.
Yes, our next guest is